Hi, as I should. I have been recording videos all my life, but this one is, I think, the most unlogical and important as a world issue. Is transgender and immigrants more than ever. Even though media is completely fucking still living in denial, we want to receive real world stories, not just some like fake ass like stuff like that we just like tune out and like relax all the time, because we want some excitement. Some people don't. Some people are Tories. Some people just want the world as the way it is, or even worse. But hopefully we're not just basing our life on that. We still have a lot in front of us to go through, and fixing up the world, it doesn't happen in one day, so we have to speak about the subjects openly. I come with you with a lot of like lunatic arguments, so if you don't want to hear this, just don't watch the video, is your choice. Basically I have quite a history of writing rememorative topics and traumatic experiences on the wall, because as a trans woman with autism, I always struggled with communication. Apparently, I don't feel like that. I feel like I actually use my time properly to say it at the right time, instead of like dragging on for another fucking lifetime. And I like the way I speak sometimes, even though people don't like me. So I kind of learned to be okay with that, I guess. And one of the reasons I want to speak about today, besides I have all written in the wall, so I remember. I already trained about 3 times before, like actually like 5 times before I actually recorded and decided that this is the version that I should go for, I guess. But like, let's carry on. So basically, there's a way I choose to judge what I should and shouldn't say, and I'm gonna pass to explain how. Basically, I had a partner that thought that my mental health was being territorial. And basically that kind of like behavior towards me kind of like in the long term end up controlling my brain, because it's just like it's like pouring acid down somebody's head, but without the acid, without the physical interaction. It's just a word that somebody left behind. It's kind of like the absence of light, the lack of respect, and the lack of dignity and interest in you is so big that all the fucking mental health that you go through isn't enough for them. They have to force it down your throats, that basically it is being territorial. And that by saying that, besides the compartmental kind of mentality that we have today, putting everything in little rooms, especially immigrants, especially working class, especially people who don't have talents, and speak out about things, especially those ones, need to have a miserable, horrible life, compartmented by people who they pretty much could have chosen to go down the gladiators and fight the fucking tigers together, but they decide to basically be enemies, if that makes sense. I don't know, let that sink in. But like, besides that perception of the world, which is a bit grim, and I do understand sometimes I end up in that kind of category of things, because I have a voice for not just some minorities. My voice is pretty much as supportive as minorities go. I don't really have a color or a gender or anything to support why I choose to be presenting female and still pretty much go through hormone therapy and like pretty much just struggle to mental health all my life, and all my lucidity goes through it. I don't need substances to struggle. I already struggle with my mental health and my lucidity enough as it is. And I would have asked why. Why does this partner think that my mental health is being territorial? Pretty much, I think that, like, I mean, trying to make me strong was one of the arguments. I don't think that comes from a place of being a victim. I think that pretty much comes from a place of like oppressing and being anti-Semitic and mental health phobic against me. But like I don't think that's really. I think basically that doesn't come from mind censoring or this is the opinion that they believe. I think they just use this to basically live in the illusion that I want to dream about all my life, which is that I'm a normal person and I need to be loved. And hate believing in you. I think that's the answer. Hate believing in you. And then it comes down to transgender women in general already struggle with this quite a lot. But like immigrants even more, maybe. I'm both, so I can't really explain this properly, but it's been quite a rough trip so far. I've been ride over like a horse all my life, and all I've asked is to treat me right and with respect. And this is a quite an accurate description of reality. This isn't mental health. This isn't illucidity or mental health or demons. This is quite real. The hate in believing in you is pretty much the biggest threat to existence as a transgender woman, man, and intersex, but as an immigrant even more, and with mental health and autism even more. So it's like layers and layers of things that pretty much threaten your existence, by slaves to substance abuse. Because a lot of times these people, or my people, end up resorting in that around people who struggle with addiction and are slaves to some sort of substances. And what they try selling you is that substance can be of the intellect kind. So I'm gonna say this while looking at you this time, because I keep checking the notes. Abuse of the intellect kind. So what does this mean? It doesn't mean anything, because it isn't real. It isn't possible. It is completely utter mayhem. And bullshit. Basically means you are a slave to a substance, no matter what it is. And you try making it about the partner who doesn't even suffer from the same problem, need to support emotionally. And all you say is your mental health is being territorial, wild animal in the woods. You would say they're peeing on the ground, something like that. And it doesn't exist because it's real, and it is in the shape of crack, cocaine, class A's, class B's. All of that is real. Depending on that, I can't really judge the background of abuse that they had. But even some people without abuse end up with something far worse, which makes you ask the question, which one is worse? That substance is when is addicted to some kind of addiction, which everybody is pretty much addicted to something, even to food. Telling you that you have a substance abuse of the intellect kind, just to discriminate your minority, just to tell a Jew to eat pig. It's just like basically it's using a scapegoat of the highest kind and form. You don't think that they actually should be loved. And then the victim shame felt non-stop. I've pretty much like dreamed about this to stop, but it doesn't really stop until you say it, and when you say it, you kind of like still look at the end of the tunnel and be like, this isn't the end of the tunnel, or through more tunnel to go through. Like, this isn't enough, and this is the trick, because you don't have something to show them. You basically extend the tunnel for miles, and you basically should have stopped long ago. They had a chance to basically tackle your mental health and like catch up with that, and basically have a chat with you, and basically have a supportive system around you of friends and family who actually respect you for threatening your life and your existence for so many centuries, pretty much. Like, that's the minimum, but we haven't even started with that. We started with the opposite, physically castrating you of every fucking possible freedom and of liberty of any kind, by just the way you think, by the way you are outspoken about subjects. You are basically a threatened existence forever, like it really, until you die. And if you were back in the day, you'll be hanged, like Mr. Brown. And I basically need to hold on to my money for personal reasons, because I am on strike. I'm tired. I don't want to spend it on even food or material goods. If they want to leave me alive, and like let me accumulate money. That means that they really want to help me, give me a friendship, and ultimately treat me with the respect I always needed and longed for. So I basically can't spend a penny. I have to hold on to my money, and basically isn't much. It's basically quite limited, and if I use it, I'll pretty much like have like no freedom whatsoever of choice. So that means that I can't pay rent, bills, or food, or anything other than like just leaving it in the bank, because the rich people and the capital elite already do that. They hold their money in their cupboards of gold, and me, minority, can't do it. Even with the littlest